Hi, Johan. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good, and you? Hello.
Yes, yes. Now I can hear you.
Hello, sir. I'm good, and you?
Yes, me too. Is there any question related to last lecture?
Am I the only one? The only student? Sorry?
I'm asking, did you have any question related to last lecture?
No, not really.
Everything is okay. Did you practice ABC questions?
Yes. Unfortunately, this I've not been able to do the last exercise because
Okay,
it's been quite tough at work this week.
okay. But do
So
remember that you should do long questions as well, because if you will not do it, you will forget it.
yes.
Hi, Shaheen. How are you?
Hi, sir. Hi, Johan.
Good. Do you have any question
Hi.
related to our last topic?
No,
Sorry, Shaheen. What are you saying?
no, I don't have any question.
Okay. Let me know whether you did your practice questions for ABC in, that we studied in the last one.
For the last one, yes, I tried it.
Is it okay?
Yeah, do you have the answers to it?
Okay. Pascal, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Do you have any question related to our last topic?
No, it was quite clear.
Okay. Did you revise during the week?
Yes, I've gone through the recording and I did the last question also.
That's very good. Hi, Mahesh. How are you?
Hello, I am good, thank you.
Okay, let me know. Do you have any question, any query related to our last topic?
No, it's okay. I also went with the videos.
Okay.
Yes.
So you all should continue the practice of doing practice in the during the week, so that you people can get your understanding clear. And if you have any question, you may ask in the next class, or even when the WhatsApp group will be ready, you may ask during the week in WhatsApp group. So if you people do not have any question related to our last lecture, so we should move forward for our next topic. Should we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our next topic is target costing. Target costing is the way to calculate target cost, because we know that costing means a method to calculate cost. So target costing is the way to calculate target cost. Now we must know what is the meaning of target cost. As the word target suggests that this is what we want to achieve. Target means anything that we want to achieve. So the target cost is basically the cost that we want to have. And this is calculated as sale price minus desired profit. This is basically the reverse of cost plus profit strategy. Normally, what accountant does, accountant do sale price, accountant will find normally in a traditional way, the traditional way to calculate price is that first of all, we will calculate the cost and then we add profit so that we can able to get a price. But the target costing is the reverse of the traditional method of pricing. In target costing, we ask from the customer that how much you want to pay for our product. This is basically the strategy followed by the Chinese market. Chinese people sell products to every class at every price. They ask from the potential buyer that if you want to have this product with this specification, how much you are willing to pay us. So they start with the price, and after they know that the customer will buy a product with certain specification at this price, they subtract their profit margin, and then they target to achieve that cost. So the target cost is basically the sale price minus desired profit margin. Is it clear? What is the meaning of target cost? The cost that we want to have, that we want to achieve. Is it clear?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if we move to the target costing concept and the target cost is an estimate of a product cost which is determined by subtracting the desired profit from the sale price. This target cost may be less than the planned cost. We will discuss what is the meaning of planned cost or standard cost. Planned cost means that we have already established a standard cost card system that we will be incurring this cost. So the target cost will be estimated by subtracting the sale price from profit margin, and this may be less than or greater than whatever the case is. We will understand the concept of target cost with the help of one illustration. Let's move to example 1. If we look at the example 1, a car manufacturing wants to calculate a target cost. So this is your requirement. The price of which will be, so this is the price that the customer will be willing to pay this amount. The company requires 8% profit margin. Now you are required to calculate target cost. We know that target cost is equal to sale price minus desired profit margin. And the sale price is given 17,950 and the margin is also given 8% margin, and we know that margin is calculated on sale price. So we will calculate the 8% of 17,950. So what will be the answer? 17,950 minus 8% of this. What will be the 8%?
1436.
1456?
36.
36.
36.
Okay. And this will be your target cost. This shows that we must incur this amount of cost on this car. But what we will actually incur, it may be different from that. Is it clear? So the target cost calculation is very simple. We will be given with the price and the profit margin, and we will calculate the target cost. Do you remember if it is 8% markup? Do you have the understanding the difference between margin and markup? If it is markup, then 8% of cost, and if it is margin, then 8% of price. The same concept that you have studied in management accounting and financial accounting for markup and margin. Is it clear? Then you will calculate on cost. Let's have a calculation of this. If this is markup, then what we will do, we have to find the target cost. We are given with the sale price, and profit is 8% markup. Now markup will be on cost, so I suppose that cost is equal to X. Now this will be 8% of X. So it will be X minus 0.08X is equal to 17950. This implies X is equal to 17950 divided by 0.92. Do you get this calculation? So this will be X, and X is the target cost. So focus on the word whether it is margin or markup. If it is margin, then it is very easy because we will apply the percentage on price. And if it is markup, we will apply the percentage on cost. And the cost is missing, so I assume that the cost is X.
Sir,
Yes.
why the target cost? Should it not be X plus 0.08?
Sorry. This is plus. Yes, this is plus. And
Okay,
because
sir.
it was minus, so when it will come on this side, this will be plus. Then this will be the different. The answer will be the different. This will be 1.08. 1.08. Now the answer will be different.
Yes, sir.
But this will not be the normal case in the question. I just do this because the examiner might give you a confusing situation by giving the markup. But in most of the cases, 99% question is based on margin in case of target costing. Let's move to another question. Example 2. Great Games, a manufacturer of computer game, is in the process of introducing a new game of the to the market and has undertaken the market research to find out about the customer's view on the value of the product and also to obtain the comparison with the competitor's product. The results of this research have been used to establish the target selling price of 60. So this is your target selling price. The cost estimate have been prepared. So these are the estimates that we will incur: material, labor, machinery cost, ordering, receiving, quality assurance, non-manufacturing, marketing, distribution, after sale. The target profit margin is 30%. So calculate the target cost. So first of all, we will calculate the target cost, and the target cost is equal to sale price minus profit. Sale price is $60 and the profit is 30%. 30% of what? Proposed selling price. So it will be 18. the target cost will be 42. Is it clear? The first part of the question is just the repetition of example 1. Now we are moving a bit advanced in this example. Another requirement and the target cost gap. Now understand what is the meaning of target cost gap. Target cost gap is basically the difference between target cost and estimated cost. We know that target cost meaning is that what we want to achieve, and estimated cost is given to you that we will incur these costs. So add up these costs, you will get the estimated cost per game. Please make a total. You will get the estimated cost.
Is 45.89.
45.89. So this will be 3.89. And we are having a view that estimated cost is greater than target cost. So we must close this gap. We must close this gap. Because if we will sell at 60, we will not be getting a profit of 18. Now our cost should be to our target of 42 so that we can achieve our target profit of $18. Now how we can achieve our target profit if our cost is estimated cost and target cost will be the same? Now how I can reduce the estimated cost? I can search for the alternative labor, because if we look at this calculation, the labor cost is very high as compared to other costs. So we must look for the alternative labor. Is there any other labor available with the same skills at the lower rate? So one way is to search for the alternative labor, and other way is to reduce the per unit time, because we know that labor cost is calculated by hours into rate. So if the rate can be lowered, try to search for the labor which will have the same skills at a lower rate. So if the rate will be different, we will be getting the answer lower. And if the hours are different, if the efficiency will be different, then we will also get the lower answer. And the same is the case we can do for the materials. We can search for the alternative materials. Just like in case of using wood, we can use the aluminium or any other metal. So if it is possible that the product quality or any other thing cannot be sacrificed, then we can search for the alternative option so that our estimated cost will be lower. And if the estimated cost will be lower, our target cost gap will be zero. Is it clear? So first of all, what we have learned how to calculate target cost. Then we have discussed what is the target cost gap. And then I told you about the idea how to reduce the target cost gap. Is it clear? Now, please read this paragraph. Read this target cost and the target cost gap. Read this area. When your reading will be complete, please update me so that I can continue. Okay. Do you have anything to discuss or everything is clear? Can any one of you explain this line? What is the meaning of this? Using standard components wherever possible. Why it is written in the target, how to close the target cost gap, what it is showing. Can anyone explain how this will close the gap or how this will help to close the gap? Yes, please. Anyone, any volunteer? Standard components means that we need not to have customized components because the standard components are of standard size, and when they are produced in bulk quantities, they will yield us a lower cost. And if we produce a component on a special request of customer, it will have more cost. So instead of using the customized components, we will go for the standard components. Is it clear? Yes, Shaheen said it correctly, pre-made, but now I explained it. I hope you will get the idea. If we look at the target implementation of the target costing, it will have 8 steps. What are the 8 steps? First is determine the product specification of which an adequate sales volume is estimated. So first of all, we must know which is the product and what are the specifications and how much units we will sell. Then set a selling price. Then estimate a profit. Then calculate target cost. And at the 5th point, compile the estimated cost. Just like in the example 2, we have the compilation of estimated cost. And then in the step 6, calculate the target cost gap. And then make your efforts to close the gap, to minimize the gap. And negotiate with the customer before making the decision about whether to go ahead with the project. Sometimes we try to close the gap, but we will not be able to close that gap. So in that case, we can renegotiate the price with the customer so that our profit margin cannot be sacrificed. Do you get your understanding clear regarding these points of target implementation of target costing? So the examiner can ask you in a theoretical question about the what are the steps of implementation of the target costing. So you need to remember these steps, and examiner mostly asks for you that write the few ways to close the target cost gap. This is the most favorite question of the examiner. The ways to calculate target cost gap. What we have learned so far, our learning is that we will set a price for a certain level of quality and a certain level of quantity of a product. and then we have a profit margin from that price, and we will try to make a product within that target cost. Now, my question is that it is suitable in a manufacturing environment. For example, if we are getting mobile phones, just like Apple is getting iPhone from China. So China is offering different level of iPhones. For example, the one is the main original iPhone. And in some countries, first copy, second copy of the iPhone is also available. So in that case, what is the Chinese manufacturer doing? They are asking the customer what you will pay for this phone, and they will subtract their profit margin and they will make a phone within your target cost limit. Now, this is a much possible way to apply this in target manufacturing environment. Now let's assume if this could be applied in a service organization, just like a hospital. You go to a hospital for a surgery and the doctor said that we will only spend this amount on you, whether you will survive or not. So in case of service industries, it is not possible to apply the target costing principles due to different things. And what are these things? These things are basically the characteristics of the service industry. And these characteristics you have already studied. Now, what examiner asked you? The examiner asked you whether the concept or the principles of target costing are applicable to service industry or not. So first of all, you will explain the principles of target costing, that we will find a target cost based on the target price and the desired profit margin. First of all, you will explain this idea, and then you will link that as the services are having the different characteristics than the manufacturing products, than the tangible products. So it is not viable to apply the principles of target costing. And if the marks are 5 marks or more, then you should also explain the characteristics of the service industry. And what are the characteristics? Simultaneity. Simultaneity means services are consumed as they are offered. Just like I am teaching you, you have paid to the academy for the services of PM paper preparation. So I am giving you the lecture, so your services are automatically being used. Then heterogeneity. Heterogeneity means variability. Services are heterogeneous. Just like if you go to the hospital, you have your own particular problem. And if the second patient go to the hospital, he or she might have his or her own particular problem. So service industries, in a service industries, no two services are commonly, mostly equal to each other. So everyone is demanding different. And intangibility, we all know the concept of intangibility. Perishability, that the services cannot be stored, just like the services of a beautician, services of a dentist, services of a doctor. These are all perishable in nature. For example, you get the services of beautician today and you need to go in another function after 15 days, you need to pay again. So you cannot use the previous services. So the services are perishable. And no transfer of ownership. In case of services, whatever you will pay, your ownership is not transferable. You are not getting anything. Whereas in case of tangible products, you pay for a product and now you are the owner of a phone. But in case of service industry, you are not the owner of anything. And then the last thing is information requirement. In a service industry, people will mostly focus on the qualitative characteristic. Just like to give you an example, whenever you visit to the hospital or a doctor, you will try to get the appointment or treatment from a doctor who is very famous, who is very expert. You are not focusing on the saving of cost. You are focusing on the best treatment. So in case of the service industries, customer mostly focus on the qualitative factors, not on the basis of the quantitative factor. So where the qualitative factors are important, the customer are willing to pay more. They are not restricted to a target cost or a target price. Is it clear?
Yes.
All of you. So let's go to the example 3. ZZ Limited makes and sell cameras. They wish to extend their product range to include digital camcorders, will be easier to use, have a better picture resolution and lots of features not available with previous technologies. The camcorders are produced by assembly workers assembling a variety of components. All the product production overheads are currently absorbed at assembly labor hour basis based on a normal annual activity. ZZ Limited is considering to switch target costing for its new digital camcorder. So in the first question, what is the requirement? Explain the difference between standard cost and target cost. Do you have the idea what is the difference? Just think for a few seconds. What is the meaning of standard cost and what is the target cost? Target cost is clear, and standard cost is basically the estimated cost that you have estimated based on the standard quantities and standard rate. Is it clear? So for a 3 marks, you have to write the description of what is the standard cost. So we can write it as standard cost are basically the estimated cost of a product based on standard consumption of quantities and standard rate for those quantities. And the target cost is the cost that we get after subtracting the desired profit margin from a target selling price. So target cost is basically what we want to have, and estimated cost is describing the what we will incur based on our estimation of components and other production requirements. Is it clear the difference between standard cost and target cost? Explain why a move to target costing will be beneficial. And so this is the theoretical question demanding the benefits of switching to target costing. We will discuss it in further while doing the kit practice. There was a standard answer by the examiner that what are the different benefits of having the target costing system implemented. So we will skip it for the time being. Now moving to the numeric part of the question. A selling price of 240 has been set by ZZ to compete with the similar product. The company would cost information for the new product is as follows. Circuit board will cost 50 each and is purchased in a batch of 5,000, and the delivery cost of each batch is 7,500. So now the details of the components are given in the bullet number 1. It is described that a camcorder require a circuit board, and circuit board cost 50 pounds, and it is purchased in a batches of 5,000, and the delivery cost of one batch is 7,500 pounds. So from the bullet number 1, we are getting two cost estimation. One is for the circuit board. Let's have a solution of this. Estimated cost. First component is the circuit board. So the circuit board cost 50 pounds. Then delivery charges. Delivery charges are 7,500 pounds for 5,000 camcorders. So I guess it will be 1.5. Now, in the second bullet, each camcorder needs 50 centimeter of wiring with a normal loss of 10%, which cost 3 per meter. Can any one of you calculate what will be the cost of wiring? Just do a calculation and share your answer. I only want to check whether you can understand the statement or not. I will explain afterwards, but before that, you need to share your answer, what you are expecting this statement is showing. Okay, I received one answer. Others are also requested to share answer, then I will calculate it. Can I assume that the others are also trying? And if they are not trying, then let me know so that I can calculate. Okay, Mahesh said another way. Okay. First of all, you need to understand whether this 50 centimeter is your input quantity or output quantity. When I read this statement, each camcorder needs 50 centimeter of wiring. It means this is your output quantity, that every camcorder must use 50 centimeter to have this in a good condition. So in F2, we have studied that in a process costing, when we input and if there is some loss, then the output will be a lesser amount. As the loss is 10%, so this 50 centimeter is showing basically the 90%. Divide it by 90. Do not multiply with 90 because we have to pay for the full. So we will get the input centimeters. So what will be the input centimeters? Input material that we must input in a process. How much centimeters we must input in the process? 55.56 centimeters. So we need this centimeter of wire. And if we look at the rate is 3 pound per meter. So we need to convert these centimeters into meters. So in order to calculate the centimeters into meters, we need to divide it by 100 because we know that in every meter there are 100 centimeters. So we will get the answer in meters. 0.5556 meter. So this is the quantity in meters, and then multiply with the 3. So what you will get the answer? 1.67. So this is the right answer. Is it clear? Do you get this point in mind while doing the question in exam? And if the statement shows that the input wiring is 50 centimeter, then no need to gross up, because the question said that it is input wiring, input quantity. So if the input quantity is given, then no need to gross up for the losses. But if the word of input is missing, it shows that we need output of 50 centimeter. So wiring will be 50 centimeter divided by 90%. Then we will divide it by 100, and then we will multiply with this. So we will get 1.67. I hope it is clear. Moving to the third point, other material cost 12.5 per camcorder. Other materials. How much it is? 12.50 per unit. Okay. It takes 2 hours to assemble each unit at $10 per hour. It means labor cost is 2 hours at 10 pound per hour. So this will be 20. With 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, and 50 weeks in a year. Why this statement is given? This statement is given to you for the calculation of your annual capacity. That there are 16 hours in a day, 6 days in a week, and 50 weeks in a year. And ZZ has 100 workers. So what will be your annual capacity of hours, budgeted capacity? 16 into 6 into 50 into 100. So what will be the total capacity of this factory in terms of hours? This is your annual capacity. For 80,000. Okay. This is your annual capacity for 80,000 hours, labor hours. It is not useful in step number 4, in bullet number 4, but we can have this information maybe in the 5th point. This is the month-wise production overhead data is given. Assembly hours are given month-wise. Calculate the target cost gap and the target cost. We have already calculated the target cost, I guess. If it is not calculated, we will calculate it. But before that, we are calculating the expected cost. Expected cost means standard cost or estimated cost. Now, what to do with the overheads? We are having the cost at this level, cost at this level, and cost at this level. First of all, we need to know whether these overheads are fixed overheads or variable overheads. If it is fixed overhead, the cost will be the same, but the cost is different in each level. So this is not a fixed overhead. And if it is variable, then the cost per hour will be same, but apparently it is clear that the per unit cost is not the same. So this is basically the semi-variable overheads. Semi-variable overheads mean some part is variable overheads and some is the fixed overheads. And we know that how to segregate a semi-variable cost into variable and fixed components. We can use the high-low method. Do you remember? High and low method. High and low method will give us which portion is variable and which portion is fixed. Can you solve it? What is the variable rate and what is the fixed rate? Do all of you remember the process of having the high-low method? Okay. What we will do, we will select the lowest level from the data and the highest level. And then we will calculate the variable portion. So first of all, the variable overheads will be calculated. Cost at high level, 880,000 minus cost at low level, 790,000 divided by high level minus low level. So we will get the 3,000 as a base. And what will be the difference? I guess 90,000. What will be the variable rate? $30 per hour. So this is your variable overheads. And if we want to calculate the fixed overheads, what is the formula? We know that total cost is equal to fixed plus variable. And the total cost can be any of these two levels. So we will find the fixed overheads. And the variable is 30 per hour. And how many hours are at 880? 25,000. So we will solve for the fixed overheads. What will be the answer of fixed overheads? $130,000 per month. So this is your fixed overhead. And we know that we need to absorb the fixed overheads. We need to calculate the absorption rate for fixed overheads. So what will be the absorption rate? OAR is equal to budgeted fixed overhead. This is 130,000 per month because the data is given to us monthly basis. So this is 130,000 per month. And what is our budgeted level? We have calculated that the budgeted level is 480,000 hours on annual basis. And if we want to convert it on monthly basis, what will be the answer? I guess 40,000. So 40,000 is your budgeted capacity on the basis of month. So what will be your overhead absorption rate for fixed overhead? So this will be your overhead absorption rate for fixed overhead, and this 30 will be for variable overhead. So this is the detailed working from bullet number 5. So what we learned, if a question has a data of semi-variable cost, we will apply the concept of high-low method, and we will separate the variable part and the fixed part, and then we will account for our cost. Is it noted and clear? You need to do this whole calculation if the question will be asked as a descriptive. But as per your current paper pattern, target costing question is normally not being asked in a descriptive portion. It will be asked in a MCQ. So in case of MCQ, You can even do all the calculations in your calculator. So no examiner do not want to have the whole working. Is it clear? So here we have variable overheads. Rate is 30 per labor hour. And how many labor hours are required? 2. So this will be 60. And then for the fixed overheads, we have a rate of 3.25. And how many labor hours are required? 2. So this will be 6.5. So we have calculated the all cost. Now total estimated cost. What is the total estimated cost? Please make a total. $152.17. So this is the estimated cost of camcorder.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just have a question concerning the annual capacity of 480,000.
Okay.
Why did we in fact divide it by 12?
Okay. If you focus on the question, the data is given to you on monthly basis. This is month 1, month 2, month 3. So this is cost is on monthly basis and the capacity is also on monthly basis. And what we calculated here, 480,000 was our annual capacity, budgeted capacity for the whole year. And we know that in a year, there are 12 months. So in order to have the like with like calculations, because we are having the data of monthly basis, so we get the fixed cost on per month basis. So if we divide it by 480, it will not be like with like. So we need to divide monthly cost with the monthly budgeted level. That's why we calculated the monthly budgeted level. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I encourage all of you to ask this type of question. If everything is ambiguous to you, please do not hesitate to ask. Okay, we have calculated the expected cost and now we have to calculate the cost gap. We know that cost gap is equal to estimated cost and the target cost difference. So the target cost minus estimated cost. What is the target cost and what is the estimated cost? Estimated cost is being calculated as 152.17 and the target cost is, the price is given $240 per camcorder. There is a typing mistake in the question that the profit margin is not given. So suppose that profit margin is equal to 40%. So it means that the cost will be 60%. Profit margin is 40%, which shows that the cost will be remaining 60%. So what will be your target cost? $144 and estimated cost is this one. So what is the cost gap? $8.17. So this 40% margin statement is missing, a typing error. Whenever you will do this question, you can assume that percentage of profit is 40% margin. I hope it is clear to all of you. Remember the way, remember the steps. In the first step, we will calculate the target cost. Then we will calculate the estimated cost. And then at the end, we will have an answer of cost gap, target cost minus estimated cost. And examiner can give you a complex data for calculation of estimated cost, and just like we did for the camcorder. Now, another way to ask the question for the cost gap is like this example 4. This is a very rare scenario that ACCA will ask you, but in a paper of ACCA, once I saw this question that in ACCA, the examiner asked for this type of question. So from that time, I added this question in ACCA's course as well. This is very easy question, but the approach is a bit different. So let's have a reading and then we will start it. Modern City Hospital is currently planning to open a new trauma surgical center for which an investment of 75 million is required. So this is your new investment in fixed assets, in addition to dedicated ambulance, which will be purchased for 5 million. So ultimately, you will be having a total investment of 75 million plus 5 million. 80 million will be your total investment. Due to tough competition, hospital cannot charge more than 30,000 per surgery. So this is basically your target price. Hospital's marketing department believes that this price level hospital will be able to perform 1,000 surgeries per annum, because we know that in some cases demand is price elastic. That is, demand will be affected with the price. So the marketing department has estimated that if we will charge 30,000, we will be doing 1,000 surgeries in 1 year. Work out the target cost. If the hospital's desired return on investment is 10%. Before this question, we are given with the profit margin. We are given with the price and profit margin. But this question is a bit different. How it is a different one? Because it has not given us a profit margin. It has given us a return on investment, ROI. And return on investment means that profit divided by investment. So in this case, first of all, we need to find the profit per surgery. If the ROI is 10% and we have an investment of 80 million, what will be our profit? What will be our profit? I guess 8 million will be your profit. Your annual profit will be 8 million per annum. And how many surgeries we are expecting in a 1 year? 1,000. It means, what is the target profit per surgery? 8,000 is your target profit per surgery. Is it clear? And if we have a price 30,000 and now we have a profit of 8,000 per surgery, so our target cost is 22,000. Is it clear? So this is your target cost. What is the requirement? Calculate target cost per surgery if ROI is 10%. Please try to absorb this question. This is very easy, but in a traditional way of asking a question in exam, the students will get confused when they will look at this type of question. because the trend is different from the previous one. In the previous examples, we have seen that the profit is given as a percentage in margin, not as a ROI. So in case of ROI, we need to find the profit because we are given with the ROI and the investment. 8 million will be our annual profit, and we are expecting to perform 1000 surgeries per annum. Now you all are requested to do the same in the part B. What is the difference? In the part B, the ROI is 15%. So do a complete calculation and share your answer with me. I am waiting for your answer. You are required to share the answer of target cost. Oh, two answers. Let me check my own calculation. Then I will confirm you. This is 15%. I guess 12,000 is your profit per surgery. 12,000 figure is your profit per surgery, and your ultimate answer required is the target cost. So 30,000 minus 12,000 will give us 18,000. I hope it is clear to all of you. Two of the students, Pascal and Shaheen, participated actively. The rest of the two students have not participated. So Mahesh and Johans, what you say? Is it clear? Mahesh and Johans, are you listening me? If you are listening, then
Yes,
please.
is the answer 18,000?
Yes, 18,000 is the answer of target cost. Very good.
Okay, thank you.
So this was a brief, short topic. What is the target costing, target cost gap, and then we have studied how to close the target cost gap. Then there might be a theoretical question whether the principles of target costing are equally applicable to service industries, and we have discussed that it is not equally applicable because of due to certain requirements. One is the characteristics of the service industry, and other one is the information requirement. And the example 4 is basically the service industry's target costing example. Practically, it is not possible to implement the same amount of cost for every surgery. So it vary to the customer patient's condition and as per the level of the disease. In some cases, they need to incur more cost And in some cases, even they need to incur the less cost as compared to our target cost. So it will not be the same in every surgery practically, but theoretically we can say that the target cost will be 18,000. Before starting the life cycle costing, let's have a 5-minute break. We will resume after 5 minutes. Then we will start the life cycle costing. Let's start with life cycle costing. As we know that costing is basically the way to calculate cost. And now the word is life cycle costing. First of all, we must make our understanding clear. What is a life cycle? Let's have, this is the time horizon and this is your product's life cycle. Let's say you want to launch a product, and at a first stage, this is your research and development stage. Research and development stage is basically the stage that you are having an idea and you are working on that idea and you are incurring cost here. And here your product emerges on the universe, that you are launching your product. So this is the first stage, is your introduction stage. So if we look at the total stages, the first stage will be research and development. Second stage of the product life cycle is the introduction stage. Then after introduction, the sale goes up. This will be the growth stage, and where it will be at the maximum, this will be maturity, and then every maturity there is a fall, there is a decline. And if we want to boost the sales, we need to revitalize it. So this is basically the revitalization stage. But as far as your paper is concerned, there are only 5 stages in the life cycle. We assume that after a decline, the project cease after some time, because due to technological innovation, there will be some other upgraded product. So there are 5 life cycle stages of a product: research and development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And the height of this shows your sales as well as your profits. So the sales and the profits are at the highest when it is on the maturity stage, and it will be on the lowest when it will be on the declining stage. And same is the case with the introduction stage, growth stage, and maturity stage. First of all, sales are very low, and with the passage of time, the sales go for a maximum level, and profit will also be at a maximum level at maturity stage. Do you get the idea clear? What is the life cycle? Now I am consolidating the two words, life cycle costing. We know that costing is the way to calculate cost. So the life cycle costing will be the way to calculate the life cycle cost, the way to calculate the cost of the whole life cycle of a product. So we are incurring cost at every level. We will add up the cost of each level, and we will get the total life cycle cost of a product. And when we will get the life cycle cost of a product, we will find the life cycle cost per unit. But I am saying that life cycle cost per unit. So the formula will be total life cycle cost divided by total life cycle units. We will be given with the data. We just need to make a total under every stage of the life cycle. We will make a total of research and development, introduction, growth, maturity, decline, and at the end we make a grand total, and then we will divide with the life cycle units. And the life cycle can be into many years. A product might have a life cycle within a year, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. So we will ignore the time value of money, because in paper of management accounting, we have studied that the value of the dollar today is more than the value of the same dollar after 1 year, or after 2 years. So we are assuming that in this paper, there is no time value of money. But practically, when we are dealing with the long life cycles, we consider the concept of time value of money. But as far as your paper of performance management is concerned, it is assumed that there will be no effect of the time value of money in this paper. Is it clear? So we will simply add the year-wise cost of the whole life cycle, and we will divide at the end with the number of units in that life cycle. The question is very easy, and I will make your understanding clear with the help of an example. So let's move to the example, then we will study these stages in detail. But before moving to that, let's have a question. Solaris is specializing in manufacture of the solar panel. It is planning to introducing a new slimline solar panel specially designed for small houses. Development of the new panel is to begin shortly, and Solaris is in the process of determining the price of the panel. It is expected that the new product will have the following cost and the units. So these are the units year wise. The research and development cost is given to you, marketing cost is given to you, and the production cost per unit is given. Customer services cost is also given on per unit basis, and the disposal cost of the equipment and the last year is given. The marketing director believes that the customer will be prepared to pay 500 for the solar panel. So he estimated the price of 500 for one solar panel. But the finance director believes that this will not cover the cost of throughout the life cycle. So the finance director is of the view that if we are charging 500, it will not cover us, cover our cost. So what is the requirements? Let's go to the requirement. Calculate the cost per unit looking at the whole life cycle. So the requirement is very simple, the life cycle cost per unit, and then comment on the suggested price. We need to comment on the suggested price. So let's have a calculation. How to calculate it? The format is very simple. We will prepare the calculation year wise. In some questions, we might have a year 0 as well. But in this question, our data is starting from 1. So no need to write 0, but I just written the 0 so that you can remember that in a question, the answer might be from the year 0. So what are the costs? In the first step, we have the research and development cost, and it is given 1.9 million and 100,000 in the second year. So this is 1900,000 in the year 1 and 100,000 in the year 2, and no cost in year 3 and 4. And here we can make a total, so that if we want to know what are the total expenditure on research and development, so the 2 million is spent on whole life cycle of the product in research and development. Then we have a cost of marketing. Marketing cost is given to us year wise, and we will simply copy paste it 100, 75, 50 and 10. 100, 75, 50 and 10. And if you look at the data, that marketing cost at the initial stage of the product is more, and as well as it is getting familiar, we are spending less on marketing. So what will be the total of the marketing cost? I guess 235 is spent on the marketing cost. Then we have a production cost per unit. So the production cost is given on per unit basis. So we need to multiply the units of year 1 are 2000, and the cost per unit in year 1 is 500. So what will be the answer? I guess 1 million. 2000 multiplied by 500 will give us 1 million as a production cost. And the same calculation we can do for the year 2. Units are 15,000 and per unit cost is 450. So what will be the total cost? 450 into 15,000. Six seven five zero triple zero. And what will be the cost for third year? 20,000 into 400. This will be 8 million. And in the fourth year, 5,000 into 450. Double 250 000. So make a total of it. 18 million. Then we have a customer services cost, and this is also given on per unit basis. In the first year, customer services cost are 50. So 50 into 2000. 100,000, I guess. $15,000 into 40. I guess 6 lakh. 20,000 into 40. 5,000 into 40. And the total will be Is there any other cost? Yes, disposal of the equipment will cost 300,000. And the timing of this cost is year 4. So the total incurred on disposal is 300,000. Now, if we want to have the year-wise total, we can have a total year-wise. And if we want to have the total life cycle cost, this is your total life cycle cost, segregated into year-wise as well as head-wise. So what will be the total life cycle cost? Just make a sum of the total column. No need to calculate year-wise, but if examiner wants you to have a year-wise calculation, then you can calculate it year-wise. So this is 22.235 million. This is your total life cycle cost. And what will be the life cycle cost per unit? The concept of life cycle cost per unit is that the life cycle cost in total double 235 000 divided by life cycle units. How many units are produced and sold in the whole life cycle? 42,000, sum of all units in the life cycle. So when you will divide it by 42,000, you will get the life cycle cost per unit. How much is the life cycle cost per unit? 529.4. And what the marketing director has suggested us to charge 500. So the finance director is at the right place, that if we will charge 500, it will not cover us the whole life cycle cost. So what was our requirement? In the first part, calculate the whole life cycle cost per unit and comment on the suggested price. So what we will write? We will write it as the life cycle cost per unit is 529.4 per unit, and it is the company is planning to charge 500, which is not financially viable to charge for a price below than the life cycle cost per unit. So the finance director is of the right opinion. Is it clear? Do you have your understanding clear? The concept is very simple. Now you people are required to read these points. Product life cycle, just need one reading. Read it. The product life cycle. I hope the reading is okay. Is it? And the life cycle is also explained. Here there are two lines. One is showing the revenue and the other is showing the profit with the same pattern, that the profit will be lower at the initial stage and then it will be higher, and ultimately it will again be at a lower side. What are the benefits of life cycle costing? Please take a reading of it. Is it clear? Then at the end of this topic, there is a discussion whether the life cycle costing in manufacturing and service industries are equally suitable. Just like we have a discussion of target costing, the target costing was not equally suitable, but the concept of life cycle is okay with the service industries and the manufacturing industries. So let's have a reading of this. After reading, let me know. Okay. I hope everything is clear to you. Then there is a next topic, but before moving to the next topic, let's have a kit practice. We have studied so far the activity-based costing, target costing, and life cycle costing. So let's take up MCQ practice so that we can have a confidence whether we are with the examiner's approach or not. Now, the first question is related to activity-based costing, and question number 29 is, which two of the following are not usually characteristics of a modern manufacturing environment? If you have studied the ABC theoretical part, you are aware that what are the modern manufacturing environment. Can you make a guesswork that which two of the following are not the characteristics of a modern manufacturing environment? So first of all, let's make a guess. So when you will arrive, you can share your answer, that statement 1 and 2, 2 and 3, whatever your answer is. There are total 5 statements in this question, and you need to identify which two are not. Okay, Pascal, very good. The last two statements are not usually the part of the modern manufacturing. Very good. Can other students share their answer, or even they can share that now you are having your understanding clear? Because in a modern manufacturing environment, employee participation increases, but it is said that it is reduced. So it is not the characteristics of the modern environment. And the next is increased rigidity. In case of modern, we have increased flexibility because the modern manufacturing environments are more flexible. So the fourth and fifth are. Now take a reading of question number 30 and share your answer. I'm waiting for your answer. So there are so many options. Let me read the answer first. A company produces a range of products and uses an absorption costing system. Which two of the following are unlikely to be a consequence of the company switching to an ABC system? So again the requirement is which two are unlikely. Indirect overheads will be shared between products on fair basis. This will happen, and the examiner is asking which will not happen. So the first statement will happen. Product pricing decision will be improved. Yes, this will happen. We did a question of construction company GC and EX, and we have seen that when we will switch to ABC, it will give us a good price. The prime production cost of each product will fall. There is no effect on the prime cost. We know that the difference between ABC and traditional system is only in the calculation of overheads, no effect on the prime cost. So the third statement is not likely. Cost control on indirect overheads will be harder to achieve. No, this is also will not be the likely case. So the 3 and 4 is the correct. When we will switch to ABC, we will have a greater control. So the third and fourth are the unlikely statements. Let me read the fifth one as well. Total production cost of the each product will change. Yes, total will change. We remember the every question. In every question, we look that ABC has a different answer in total production cost, and traditional will have the different answer. Is it clear? So the third and fourth are the two unlikely statements. Let's do this question. A company which makes two products, alpha and zeta, uses activity-based costing to absorb its overhead. It has recently identified a new overhead cost pool for inspection cost and has decided that the cost driver is the number of inspections. This is the inspection cost. Volume of units is given, hours per units are given, units per batch are given, inspection per batch are given. What is the inspection cost of the product alpha? So first of all, we need to find the driver rate. And we remember that for a driver rate, we need to have a cost pool. Cost pool is given, and what is the driver? For inspection cost has decided the cost driver is the number of inspections. So what is the data for inspections? So 4 inspections per batch, 1 inspection per batch, and how many units in one batch? So first of all, we need to know the batches. First of all, we need to know the batches. There is one product alpha, 2500 units will be produced, and in every batch there are 500 units. So the 5 batches will be for alpha. Then for zeta, this will be 8000 divided by 1000. There will be 8 batches. And how many inspections will be? 4 inspections per batch. So there will be total 20 inspections. And 1 inspection for 1 batch. So it will be 28. So the number of inspections will be 28. So what will be the rate per inspection? $8928.57 per inspection. So this rate is per inspection. Now, what is requirement? What is the cost per unit of product alpha for inspection cost? So we need to find the cost of product alpha, and the rate is 8928.57 per inspection. And how many inspections are done for alpha? 20 inspections. So multiply with the 20, you will get the total answer for alpha. And then you will divide it with the number of units of alpha. And the number of units are 2500. So you will get the per unit cost. Please share the answer. The final answer is 71.43. So the previous answer shared by Pascal 8.93 is not correct. Please let me know whether this calculation is clear to you or not. Read the requirement carefully, read the statement carefully. The base was the number of inspections, and the number of inspections were not given directly. It was given with reference to batches, that how many inspections are required for one batch. So first of all, we calculated the batches. So these 5 and 8 are basically the batches. And how many inspections are required for one batch? So 20 is the number of inspections, and 28 is the total number of inspections. So first of all, we calculated the rate per inspection, and then the question is saying to calculate the cost for alpha. So we calculated the cost for alpha. Is it clear? Which of the following statements are true regarding activity-based costing and cost driver? So here we need to give about the two true statements. Read the statement and share your answer, whether the correct answer is A, B, C, or D option. I guess 3 statements are correct. So D should be the answer. What do you feel? Please share your feelings as well. Okay. A company makes a product A and B. It is experimenting with activity-based costing. Production setup cost are 12,000. The total production will be 20,000 units for each product A and B. Each run is 1,000 units for A and 5,000 units of B. Using the ABC, what is the setup cost per unit of A? So first of all, we need to calculate the answer, the driver rate. Setup cost is the cost pool, and what will be the base? I guess number of runs will be the base. So there are two products, A and B. 20,000 units of A and 20,000 units of B will be produced. And A will be produced in a batch of 1,000. So 20 runs will be, 20 batches will be for A. And this will be 5,000. So there will be 24 batches or 24 runs. So what will be the rate? 12,000 divided by 24. What will be your driver rate per run? This is your driver rate per run. Do you getting this clear? Please be quick. You calculated the final answer? Okay, I guess 500 is the answer per run. And you are required to find the cost per unit of A. So 500 is the rate. And how many runs are required for product A? So this will be 10,000 for the whole product A. And how many units will be produced for A? So the 20,000 units will be produced. So the per unit cost will be 0.5. Thus, Pascal is saying that the final answer is 10,000. The final answer of 10,000 is in total. But the question is saying to calculate per unit cost. So you need to divide it with the number of units. In MCQs, the trick is that you need to concentrate on the requirement. Although your calculations are correct for 10,000, but if you write 10,000, you will get 0 marks. So this is the negative side of the MCQ, that your previous calculation will not give you any benefit if the final answer is incorrect. So try to focus more on the requirement. If the requirement is per unit, then the answer is $0.5. And if the requirement is the total cost of setup for product A, then the answer is 10,000. I hope it is also clear to the other two students. Now, which of the following statement are true regarding ABC? So read these two statements and share your answer. This is very easy. Question number 34 is very easy, waiting for your answer. Mahesh and Johans are very silent in the class. They are not participating. Yes, A option is the right answer, because option 2 is straightforward incorrect statement and option 1 is straightforward correct statement, because this is the definition of the cost pool. So A option is the right answer. A company uses ABC costing to calculate the unit cost of its product. The figures for the period 3 are as follows. Production setup cost are 84,000. So this is your cost pool. The total production is 40,000 for A and B. Each unit of each of the product A and B. and each run is 2,000 units for A and 5,000 for B. What is the setup cost per unit for product B? Just like the previous question, there are two products A and B. 40,000 is the number of units of A, 40,000 is for the B as well. And the production will be in a batches of 2,000. So 20 will be the batches and this will be 5,000. So the 8 will be batches, it will be 28. And the cost per batch will be 84 divided by 28. What will be the rate, driver rate per batch, yeah, per run? This is 3,000 and it now setup cost per unit of B. So how many runs are required for B? You will get the total cost for B, but answer is required for per unit basis. So the number of units are given to you 40,000 for B. So I guess this is 0.6. Pascal, what is 4.8? Why you are doing like this?
Yes, I'm reading the question too fast, I guess, but I understood the concept, sir.
Is it clear to you now, or do you have still any confusion?
No, it is clear.
Okay. So 0.6 will be the per unit cost for B. Shaheen, Mahesh, Johans, please respond. Moving to the next question. ABC company manufactured two products, alpha and beta. Both are produced in very labor intensive environment and use similar processes. Alpha and beta differs in volume. Beta is a high volume product. Alpha is a low volume product. Details are given. Direct labor hours per unit 55. Actual output is given. Number of purchase orders or number of setups are also given. Fixed overhead total amount is 420,000 and it is divided into three categories. Now you are required using a traditional method of overhead absorption on the basis of labor hours. What is the overhead cost per unit of alpha? So using traditional method. So in a traditional method, we need to calculate OAR and OAR is calculated based on the total overhead. So 420 will be the total overheads and the base will be the labor hours. So how many labor hours will be there? 5 is the per unit time. So 6,000 hours will be required for alpha and 60,000 will be required for beta and the total hours will be 66,000. So what will be the per hour rate? The rest of the data is given for you to creating a confusion, but you are required to only focus on the requirement. So what will be the answer? 420,000 divided by 66,000. 6.36 per hour, and we are given to calculate the cost per unit of alpha. How many hours are required for 1 unit of alpha? So multiply this with 5. You will get your answer. So this will be the per unit cost. $31.8 or 82. If it is up to 2 decimal places, mostly we use 2 decimal places. Yes, it is written here as well that your answer should be 2 decimal place. So you need to write 31.82. If you will write 30.8, you will get 0 marks. So focus on the required layout or the structure of the answer. Moving to the next question. Now the question is same. So we have calculated the previous calculation. 6.36 was the rate, I guess, and the same time is required for 1 unit of beta. So the answer will again be the same, 31.82. So this is just the same question, but now the 38, the question is the same. Using the ABC method, what is the overhead cost per unit of product alpha? Now in case of ABC, we need to have the driver rate for each activity. Now we need to have the bases. What should be the suitable base for volume related activity? So the most suitable base is the labor hours. What will be the rate for the volume related overhead cost per hour? Waiting for the answer. So every activity has a different base, and we use the suitable base from the question. Need to have the answers. $66,000 labor hours I have previously calculated. So this is 1.52 per hour, and 906.25 per order, and the per setup rate is already calculated. Now we are required to find the cost of A. So for the product A, first of all, it will be the volume related. This is 1.52 multiply with 5. So what will be the answer for volume related overheads? One 1.52 multiplied by 5 will give us $7.6. And for a purchase related overheads, 906.25 per order. And we have 75 purchase orders for product alpha. So multiply with 75, and as we are calculating per unit cost, we will divide it by number of units, and the number of units are 1200. If it is 7.58, then no issue, we can write it as 7.58. $56.64, and the last one is setup related. So for the setup, rate is 1750 per setup, and the number of setups for alpha is 40. So we will get a total, and for per unit we will divide with 1200. So what will be the answer? $58.33. So add these three figures, you will get the per unit cost for alpha. $122.55. So this is the C option. Is it clear? As your course outline says that ABC will be asked in section A or section B type question, as I told you in the last lecture, that in exam it is not likely the case that you will get a long question from ABC. So after doing the long question in the last class, now we are doing these little question very easily, because we are well aware with the concepts and the statement tricks. And let's move on to the next question. I guess this is the same question, but now it is asked for the product B. So I leave it for you. You people can do it easily. Let's move to the question number 40. A company is changing its costing system for traditional costing based on labor to ABC costing. It overhead has 156,000 which are related to taking material deliveries. The information is given: 3 products, delivery size, total labor cost, and the total hours are given. Each unit of the product takes the same number of direct hours. Assuming that the company uses the number of deliveries as its cost driver, what will be the effect on the cost per unit following the change from absorption to ABC? Please tick the box. Product X will increase, decrease. Same is the case for Y and Z. So the best way is to calculate the cost under both methods and then judge whether it is increased or decreased. So I guess you can do it. Please let me know whether you can do it or not. First of all, you will calculate the per unit cost of the 3 products using traditional method, and then you will calculate the same but in ABC. And then you will compare whether it is increased or decreased. Can you do it? Waiting for your response. Okay. DRP Limited has recently introduced the activity-based costing system. It manufactures 3 products. Details are given: D, R, and P 3 products. Budgeted annual production units are given. Batch size is given. Machine setup per batch. Purchase orders per batch. Processing time per unit in minutes. 3 cost pools have been identified. Their budgeted cost for the year ending 30th June are as follows. What is the budgeted machine setup cost per unit of R? So we need to calculate the machine setup cost. First of all, we need to have the machine setups. So the number of setups will be calculated. If we divide the number of units with the batch size, we will get the number of batches. And how many setups are required per batch, we will get this answer. And the same, if we divide, we will get 2000 as an answer. Then 2000 into 4 will give us 8000. And similarly, 50,000 over 25 will give us the number of batches. What will be the answer? 50,000 over 25, we will get the number of batches. And number of runs are 6 per batch. So we will get 12,000. So if we add 12,000 plus 8,000 plus 3,000. So this will be 23,000. What will be our rate per setup? Students, please be quick and attentive. Do you getting your understanding clear? Why I divided 100,000 with 100? Because 100,000 was the total production and batch size is 100. So I get the number of batches. Why I get the number of batches? Because setups are per batch. So first of all, I must know the number of batches. Then how many setups are for one batch? I will get it. The total is 23,000. Now what will be the answer per setup? This is your driver rate. 6.52. Now what is the requirement? Calculate the machine setup cost per unit of product R. Now I will use the data of product R. How many setups are required for product R? It is 8,000. So this will be the total cost of product R. And I need to calculate per unit cost. So at the end, I will divide with the number of units. So let me know the answer. 8,000 are the setups. So the final answer is 0.52. So B will be the right answer. I suggest you to do these practice questions again by yourself without any help. And then if you have any confusion, then do not hesitate to ask me. Now the next topic is target costing. Can you answer question number 42? Theoretical question. When you will get the answer, send me in the chat box that what is your answer for question number 42. Yes, D is the right answer. Can you share the answer of 43 as well? If your theoretical question are getting right, it means that you have understood the concept very well. Well done. C is the right answer. Very good. I hope the other people who are on silent mode will also get. Question number 44. The predicted selling price of the product has been set 56. So this is price. The desired markup on cost is 25%. And the material cost of the product is estimated to be $16 before allowing for the additional material to allow for a shrinkage. So shrinkage is basically the loss, and $16 is before allowing the loss. So it means that this is input. If the labor is the only other cost and the 2 hours are needed, what is the most the business can pay per hour if the cost gap is to be avoided? What is the meaning of cost gap is to be avoided? It means cost gap is 0. So first of all, we need to find the target cost. As per our understanding, target cost is equal to sale price minus profit. Sale price is given 56, cost is X, and this is 25% of the cost. So this will be 56 over 1.25. So what will be the target cost? $44.8. And what will be the profit? Profit will be 25% of this. So this is the profit figure. And if we now we will calculate, this is 56 minus 11.20. What will be the target cost? I guess you will get the same answer. So this is basically the reconciliation, that if you will go in the right way, you will get this one. Otherwise, you will already have the X, and X is the target cost. And now the gap is 0. The gap 0 shows that the estimated cost is equal to your target cost. For a gap equal to 0, this shows that your estimated cost is equal to your target cost. Gap is equal to estimated minus target cost. As the gap is equal to 0, we don't have the data for estimated so far, and target cost is 44.8. And the 44.8 will be equal to your estimated cost. And what are the estimated cost? Material cost plus labor cost. Because question is saying that there is only two costs. One is the material and other one is the labor. So this is before allowing for the loss. It means this is showing 80%. So what will be your 100%? 16 over 18%, 16 over 80% will give us the total cost. I guess it will be 20. So the 20 will be for the material cost, and this is 44.8, and the rest will be the labor cost. So what will be the labor cost? I guess 24.8. And it is said that 2 hours are required. So when I will divide it with the 2, I will get the per hour rate 12.4. So it is being asked, what is the per hour rate? So the per hour rate is 12.4. So the examiner can check the concept in any of the ways. So this is just like the reverse calculation, that examiner is not asking for the cost gap. He gave us the cost gap and he is asking for some missing data. And we have used the concepts that we have learned in our long questions today for target costing. Is it clear? Okay, make a guess of question number 45. Which of the following technique is not relevant in target costing? This question is mostly based on your IQ. The concept of variance analysis is not suitable, is not related to target costing, because the variance analysis concept is applied on a production environment which is under the regular. What happened to it? I guess it is closed. So B is the right answer. The selling price of product Sigma is said to be 250, and the sales of the coming year are expected to be 500. The company requires a return of 15% in the coming year on investment. Now look at this question. This is just like the ROI question. So the investment is 250,000. So what is our profit? We are expecting the 15% profit on our investment. So what will be the 15% of our investment? I guess 37,500 will be the profit. And how many units we are going to sell? So the per unit profit will be 37,500 divided by 500. This is your profit per unit. 75. And what will be your target cost? 250 minus 75 will give us how much? This is your target cost. I guess 175. Yes, D is the right answer. BC company is a firm of opticians. It provides a range of services to the public, such as the eye test and the contact lens consultations, and has a separate dispensary selling glasses and the contact lenses. Patients book appointment with an optician in advance. A standard appointment is 30 minutes long. So this is your duration of the appointment, during which an optician will assess the patient's specific requirement and provide them with the eye care services they need. After appointment, patients are offered the chance to buy the contact lenses or glasses from the dispensary. Which of the following describes the characteristics of the services provided by an optician at VC during the standard appointment? So what is your opinion? Which type of the services optician is providing during the appointment time? It is not tangible. It is not homogeneous because every patient has his own level of eyesight, and it is perishable. It is not non-perishable. So this is basically simultaneous, because as the time is going on, the customer is using the benefit of that service. So the question 47 has the correct answer, D option, simultaneous. Yes, D is the right answer. Pascal, well done. Now the next is life cycle costing. Before moving, if you all are okay with the target costing questions, then we can move. This is the expected sales. The variable cost is given per unit basis, so we will multiply with the number of units. Fixed costs are given in total. Variable selling cost is given per unit. Fixed selling cost is given total. Admin cost is given in total. What is the life cycle cost per unit? So let's calculate it. There are 3 years. 1, 2, 3, and let's have a total column. First of all, variable cost, variable production cost. In the year 1, it will be 2.3 into 2000. What will be the answer? 2.3 into 2000. 4,600. So for the next year, 1.8 into 5,000. 1.2 into 7,000. What will be the total of variable production cost in 3 years? This is 22,000. Then fixed production cost. This is given in total, so no need to multiply. 3, 35, and 4. 3,000, 3,500, and 4,000. And the total will be 10,500. Then variable selling. This will be given in per unit basis. 0.5 into 2000 will give us 1,000. Then 0.4 into 5,000 will give us 2,000. 0.4 into 7,000 will be 2,800. So what will be the total? 3 plus 2, 5, 5,800. And there is fixed selling as well. The fixed selling cost is 1500, 1600 and 1600. 1500, 1600 and 1600. So the total will be 47. And there is also the administration cost. And this is the fixed cost, 700, 700, 700. So this will be 2100. So we will get a total life cycle cost. So take a total 45,100. And we have how many units? 14,000 units in total. So we will get the life cycle cost per unit. Life cycle cost per unit. $3.22. So C will be your answer. Question number 45 seems to be the same. So I leave it for you. You will do practice by your own during the week, and it will be very easy for you. Do you have this kit with you? Okay. I will make arrangement for you people to have this kit with you. Meanwhile, you may note my number. You may WhatsApp me. I will send it to you. It's 0092 312 4477 668. Note this number. And when you will send me a text on WhatsApp, I will share this material with you for the time being. Then Academy will officially share the same with you. Okay, so you will do this question by your own. It will be easy one. I guess question number 50 is also easy, but this is generating a psychological pressure on student that this is too big question to absorb in MCQ. So this is basically the information bombing question, that a lot of information is given to you in question and you are asked with the following: which of the following statement made the chief executive are true regarding the cost of console? So first of all, you will read the data and then you will assess whether which statement is true and false. Can you judge it by yourself, or do you want to do by me now? If you feel comfortable that you can judge these statements whether they are correct or incorrect, then I will leave it for you. And if you feel that it is difficult for us, then I will guide you immediately. Okay, you will try by yourself. While a drag and drop style question, it is impossible to fully replicate. Okay, we need to drag and drop the correct options. Which four of the following are said to be the benefit of the life cycle costing? So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 statements and we need to drag these statements which are the benefits here in this box. So while you people will be doing the exam, you can pick the one statement and by dragging it, you will move that statement here. Now we cannot drag it. We just need to know what are those 4 benefits. And I hope you can guess it. So take a reading and share your answer that which of these 4 are. We can number it for your understanding: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can just give that these 4 are the benefits of life cycle costing. One, 3, 5, 6. You dropped 2 and 4. Let me read 2 and 4. 2 is okay. Yes, the life cycle cannot be shortened. So 2 is not the benefit. The last statement is also incorrect. We cannot avoid the declining stage. Every product once will face a declining stage. We can increase the life cycle time, but we cannot avoid, just like this, we cannot avoid death. As a human being, we cannot avoid death. But by taking certain precautions, we can increase our life cycle, but ultimately we have to go for the decline. So same is the case for the product. So the 2 and 6 are not, and the remaining 4, this one, and this one are the benefits. Is it clear, or do you want to discuss any of these statements? Okay. I hope the other students have the same understanding. Read this question number 52 and share your answer A, B, C, D. I am waiting for the answer of question number 52. Okay, you dropped statement number 3. Let me read the statement number 3. The high cost of research and development and the marketing in the early stages in the product life cycle necessitate the high selling price. There is no necessity that at an initial stage price will be high. Normally, whenever we launch a new product, the selling prices are low. So the third statement is incorrect and the rest of the statement are correct. So 1, 2 and 4 are the correct options. So A is the right answer. Which of the following statement is are true regarding life cycle costing? So again, you need to find the correct options. I will wait for the right answer. So let me know what is your answer. Yes, students. What is the right answer? B. Yes, well done. B is the right answer. What other students thinks? Do they need to discuss any statement or are they okay with the answer B for question number 53? Question number 54. Company B is about to start developing a new product for launching in its existing market. They have forecasted sales of 20,000 and the marketing department suggests a selling price of 43. The company seeks to make a markup of 40% product cost. It is estimated that the lifetime cost of the product will be as follows: design and development, manufacturing, plant decommissioning cost. So in order to find the total cost, manufacturing cost is given in per unit. How many units we will be producing? 20,000. So this will be 300,000 and our total life cycle cost will be 43 plus 300,000 plus 30,000. What will be the total of these three figures? This will be your total life cycle cost. $373,000 and we are required to find the cost per unit, so divide it with the number of units. What will be the answer? 18.65. So A is the right option. That was very simple question. And the next question is related to our next topic, throughput accounting, and we will read it in the next class. So for what we have learned in our two lectures, previous one and the current lecture, we have completed the three topics from the syllabus: activity-based costing, life cycle costing, and target costing. And we did the same kit practice as per the exam pattern. I hope you have enjoyed your learning along with the practice questions with me. Now you people are invited to share your feedback regarding these two lectures about the methodology and the style, and especially the involvement. I keep you involved and interactive by asking the questions from you people. If you want to share any feedback, positive or negative, then you are encouraged to share your feedback. And if there is no question, no suggestion from your feedback, then I suggest you to read from the book, or if you don't have any time for the book reading, then at least read from the handouts. When you will send me a text message on WhatsApp, I will share you the handouts, study text, as well as the practice kits. I will share both BPP and Kaplan with you. I am doing the Kaplan kit in the class. So when you feel that you have learned your concepts, you have revised your concepts, then do the practice questions from BPP kit by your own. Then you will get a confidence that how you can tackle the unseen questions in exam. So have a maximum practice. So take this as a habit, and as we are having a class on Tuesday, and on the coming Tuesday we have Eid in Pakistan. So mean to say that after Eid, the coming Tuesday is off due to Eid, then the next Tuesday will be our regular class. So we will be meeting after 14 days. And meanwhile, if you have any query, you can ask me on my number. I hope you all have noted the number. So we will be in coordination during these 14 days. So you may continue your study. I suggest you to read from the book. Do not rely on the handouts. Handouts is the only option if you don't have any time to read too much with your job or other commitments, then rely on that. Otherwise, book is the best. Lecture is good. Doing question together helps to avoid common mistakes. Yes, I know that if I involve all the students, because I am teaching since 2008, so it is almost 15 years of teaching ACCA, ICW, CIMA, CA, and CMA, and I know that students are doing these mistakes, and especially in a online platform, if I will not ask you again and again, there is a chances that you people can mute the class, and you can even do your other works with the class. So I ask you to be attentive. It will help you a lot, so it will not be a boring class. And if you have any other friends who are interested to take performance management paper in the coming attempt, then you are requested to invite them for this session if you are satisfied. only one student shared the feedback. I assume that other 3 students are also comfortable with me because you are not telling anything. So I assume the positive one. If you people do not have any other question, then we can end the class. But make sure that we will be resuming our class almost after 14 days. Is it clear to all of you? There will be no class on the coming Tuesday due to Eid in Pakistan. Okay. Thank you so much. Then take care of yourself. Bye bye.